It's a little bit of an inside joke here, but I want to take a little personal orders. I have a guest here today, Senator Mark Cody. Mark Cody, whenever you serve on him on any committee, before the committee starts, he always has a guest every time. And so he always announces, Senator, thanks for coming in today. It's a joy to serve with you on Senate. So I'm going to lose my voice tonight. I've been up in Nashville today for 6 hours dealing with the Department of Education and the Department of Health. And it wasn't a quiet conversation, I'll tell you that much. You've heard about the federal overreach right now. The 10th Amendment is going to be very key to the success of Tennessee. We have to stand our ground against the federal government and tell them that Tennessee is going to remain free no matter what you say. We're going to do what's best for the people of Tennessee. It's been a monumental year in the Education Committee, and that's the committee, one of the committees I chair. We have really doubled down with the help of the Senate. There is a crisis in Tennessee, and it's called education. It's not new. It's been here a while. Representative Butt, when she was in the General Assembly, worked tirelessly to improve education and took it from where it was to where it is now, but we've kind of stagnated. This year, we've really taken the bull by the horns and really tried to move education forward for our students. And the reason why, education affects so many people. I can probably guess that pretty much everybody sitting here is some kind of product of education. The longer you go, the further you go, the more opportunities that are created for you. Doesn't have any guarantees to it, but it gives you the opportunities that you seek, that our Constitution so boldly proclaims of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Not the guarantee of it, but the pursuit, and education plays a vital role in that. I've been up there, this is my second term, and since I took office there in 2018, I can tell you this, it has not been normal. 3 special sessions, the replacement of a speaker, COVID-19, and trying to mitigate this learning loss that all of our children went through this last year. We are battling right now for the future of Tennessee in this country, trying to keep our students in class right now. It is a monumental task. When you have the Department of Health contradicting themselves on every other statement that comes out of their mouth, and trying to educate these kids with our teachers who are doing the best job that they can under the most trying and worst circumstances ever afforded them in the history of education in this country. I want to start off by telling you some of the things that we did to help turn around education in this state. It started in a special session. We passed the literacy bill. And most of you, I'm 55 years old, most of us learned how to read by phonics. Well, we're going back to phonics education in K through 3. We are making sure that our students know how to sound out words and learn them, and learn how to pronounce words correctly so that they can learn how to read, which is imperative if you're going to be successful in education. We had a task there, though. We had 15,000 teachers in the state of Tennessee that had to be retrained on phonics education. 15,000 teachers. Sound like an impossible task, and we talked about that in the General Assembly about how are we going to get this done because school starts in August. And we passed our bills in January, mostly February through April. Well, let me tell you something. The eagerness of our teachers came forward right away. We opened up the opportunities for teachers to sign up for it. Now, we paid them to go to class. We put an incentive there for them. And in 3 days, all 15,000 seats were taken by teachers of Tennessee.
Wow.
15,000. We're going to be offering refresher courses next year for our teachers and our new teachers coming out of our teacher prep programs. We are doubling down in education, especially in early education in K through 3. The second bill we passed was the learning loss bill. We brought back summer school into our classrooms, and the best part about that was we saw tremendous results from the time the kids came into summer school to the time they left. I think you'll be very pleased with the numbers we're going to show in math on kids getting better. Reading's going to take a little time. You just can't teach reading overnight, but we saw some good gains in the kids who were struggling the most as we move forward. Second part of that bill was bringing in tutoring. Now I'm going to urge you, if you value education in Tennessee and you value education to your youth, contact your local school board. Contact your local superintendent and say you want to help kids read. We provided in the General Assembly funds to be able to pay you to help kids learn how to read. Maximum class size for you if you volunteer will be 3 children. 3 children, 4 days a week, 1 hour a day after school. And I'm telling you, you will be rewarded in the most unbelievable way you can imagine of seeing a child learn how to read, and you are responsible for that. So if you're interested in that, contact Director Hickman or Chairman Fulbright, and they'll get you plugged in. You'll take a quick class to learn how to do it, and then they'll start assigning you your students to learn. I'm very proud to announce that Senator Hensley in the back and I, we sponsored a bill to make sure that our girls' sports were going to remain girls' sports. We want to make sure we maintain the integrity of the competition, the opportunity for advancement, and most importantly, the opportunity for scholarships for our young ladies in Tennessee, that they could compete against other biological females in their sports. Very important to us. Second bill we passed, we worked on, was the Teacher Discipline Act. One of the problems we've had is discipline in our classrooms. Okay, I remember when I went to school, I wasn't worried about Miss Jones being mad at me. It was my father being mad at me when I got home. We have to get back to discipline in our classrooms. So we set the expectation very high with this bill that a repetitively disruptive student that's not special ed, that just doesn't want to behave, a teacher can permanently remove that student from their classroom. And one of the questions I got asked by my partners across the aisle was, well, what's going to happen to them? Well, we have this magical thing right now called virtual learning, and maybe little Johnny or Jenny needs to go home with mom and dad for a while, and mom and dad get inconvenienced about that kid being home, and maybe mom and dad would take care of this problem. And one of the last bills, and I tell people this all over, I've spoken to 28 school districts across the state till my voice gives out. I will not take 3 hours like I normally do. I'll keep this very brief for you tonight. You saw an absolute miracle in government at the end of session when we were ready to wrap up. The Biden administration said they were going to give incentives to our school systems to teach critical race theory. In 3 days, the General Assembly and the Senate stopped that in our schools in its tracks in 3 days. There is hope. There is hope. Sometimes you got to go through a little pain. And I think we're going to go through some pain in education right now as we turn this battleship of education around. And any Navy men in here know you just don't turn it on a dime. It takes a little time before that bow starts to grab the waves and starts to turn. But boy, when you get that thing starting to turn, not much stops it. And that's where we are in education right now. Let me give you some of the problems we're having real quick. We just got done with our TCAP test of a year of virtual learning in the state of Tennessee. And I'm going to give you some sobering numbers, but there's hope, and I'll tell you the hope real quickly here. Currently, in elementary school, 32%. Elementary is normally K through 5. Elementary, 32% of our elementary students read on grade level. 26% of our middle schoolers read on grade level. 33% of our high schoolers read on grade level. In math, elementary, 33% are on grade level. In middle school, 27%. And in high school, 18%. One of my focuses is Metro Nashville and Shelby County, and I'm going to read you some numbers and you'll figure out why real quick. It's about a third, close to a third of our student population in Tennessee. The state average for proficiency in English language arts is 32% of our third graders. 32%. In Metro Nashville, 22% read on grade level. In Metro Nashville math, grade 7, state average dropped to 22%. In Metro Nashville, 9%. Shelby County schools, English Language Arts, state average 32. Shelby County, 14. Shelby County Math, seventh grade, 22% state average, 5.
Whoa.
5%. But I represent District 64, which is Maury County. English Language Arts in 3rd grade, state of Tennessee 32, Maury County 28. 7th grade math, Maury County, state average 22, Maury County 12. Folks, we're at a crisis in education. We have got to go back to the fundamentals and basics in K through 3. We have got to demand that these kids know how to read, write, and do math. We have to support our teachers in the classroom. We have to clear the field so our teachers can spend the maximum amount of time with our students teaching them how to read, write, and do math. Now you know why that tutoring core is so important to our students. That little extra time, that little extra hour every day is the difference between success and winding up with drug addiction, alcoholism, teen pregnancy, gang violence, and incarceration. The hope is coming. We are working on legislation this year to continue to move the ball forward, like the literacy bill, like the summer school, right? We will get there. Have confidence in us. One day, not only will we lead the nation in economic development, in the best place to live, work, and raise a family, one day, very soon, we'll be #1 in the country in education. I look forward to being on the committee to do that. Thank you.